In this video, we will see what the partial derivatives with respect to θ0 and θ1 are. We will see how the gradient descent algorithm for linear regression with one variable looks like and why gradient descent in linear regression will always converge to the best minimum. But first, let's recap. Remember the hypothesis of linear regression with one variable and its corresponding cost function. To summarize, the hypothesis is a model that predicts a certain output that is called h, given some input that is called x. The goal is to create a model that makes accurate predictions. Or in other words, the goal is to make a hypothesis of which its predictions lay as close as possible to the real y values of the training examples. For example, look at these two models that try to predict something. It is clear that the green hypothesis is better than the red hypothesis, as the green hypothesis will give predictions that lay closer to the real values of the training examples. Or in other words, the sum of squared errors of the green hypothesis is smaller than that of the red hypothesis. So from this graph it is clear that the parameters θ0 and θ1 of the green hypothesis make a better fit through the data than the red hypothesis. However, we would like to find the optimal parameter values with an efficient algorithm, not by graphically reading the values of a graph. To do this, we try to optimize the parameters θ0 and θ1, to get a model that fits the training examples as good as possible. This is done by minimizing the cost function. Remember the cost function, which is basically telling us what the average error between the hypothesis and y value of all training examples is in function of the parameters θ0 and θ1. This optimization process to find the optimal values for theta is done with our beloved gradient descent algorithm. This algorithm minimizes the cost function and only stops if it converged into a local minimum. The gradient descent algorithm looks as follows, with j running up from 0 until the amount of parameters. So in the case of linear regression with one variable, we need to repeat the gradient descent algorithm for j equal to 0 and j equal to 1. As we have seen in the previous video about gradient descent, we will get an algorithm that looks as follows if we try to implement this. We will keep on updating θj, which in this case means θ0 and θ1, so that we reduce the cost function each step of the way, with as goal to eventually end up in the minimum of the cost function. The algorithm keeps on repeating each step until we reach convergence, meaning that the value of θ0 and θ1 stay almost the same as the previous iteration. Or in other words, the updated value for theta is almost the same as the previous value for theta. If you remember from previous video, this will happen if this part becomes near 0, or in other words, if we have an horizontal slope and thus reached a local minimum. So now that we refreshened our knowledge of the gradient descent algorithm, we can look one step further. From the previous video, we know that alpha might be a fixed rate, and how this fixed rate is determined will be seen in a later video. But for now, we will assume this is a constant and focus on the partial derivative term. We saw that this is the tangent line to the cost function, but how do we now calculate this in mathematical terms? For this, let's look closer to this partial derivative. Well, if we calculate the partial derivative of the cost function with respect to θ0, we get this term. You can see it looks close to the cost function itself, only with the 1/2 gone and the squared symbol gone. I'm not going to explain the entire method of calculating the partial derivative, that's not the goal of this course. But for those that already seen calculus, you can always check this out yourselves. So next, let's see what the partial derivative of the cost function with respect to θ1 looks like. Again, we can calculate this partial derivative, which will give us the following term. You can see that it looks almost the same as the partial derivative with respect to θ0, only with the difference that we add the term x superscript I. Now that we know what the partial derivative terms, we can plug them in our gradient descent algorithm. This is the full gradient descent algorithm for linear regression with one variable. And later, we will implement this algorithm in code. If you don't want to miss that, or you like the video so far, please consider subscribing to the channel and give the video a thumbs up. Now, to get some terminology right, this gradient descent algorithm that we just described is also called batch gradient descent. It is called batch because each step of the algorithm, we look to all the training examples. In other words, we sum up the error over all training examples. There also exist variants of gradient descent in which you look to a subset of the training set. This is not something we will see in this video, but it is important to keep in mind. The choice between batch gradient descent and its variants, like mini-batch gradient descent or stochastic gradient descent, often depends on the size of the dataset and the computational resources available. Each variant has its advantages and disadvantages. Now there is one more important thing we want to clarify. Previously we stated that the gradient descent algorithm doesn't account for multiple minima. Meaning that if you choose other initial theta values, you might end up in another local minimum. But the gradient descent algorithm doesn't know there are multiple minima. So you might end up in a local minimum, while there might be a better minimum out there. Like in this example, you end up in this local minimum and the gradient descent algorithm is finished. However, there is another local minimum that is deeper. So it's closer to zero error and thus will result in better values for the parameters theta 0 and theta 1. Luckily for us, the cost function in linear regression will always be bowl-shaped, also called a convex function. A convex function is one where any local minimum is also a global minimum. So for every cost function in linear regression, regardless of the number of parameters, we will always end up in the same and only minimum. This is a fundamental property of linear regression. So for convex functions, the local minimum is also the global minimum, which makes optimization more straightforward. This property is exploited when using optimization algorithms like gradient descent, which is guaranteed to converge to the global minimum for convex functions. So with this said, we will end the video. But before we do, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments as I'm happy to help you. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video.